Bitcoin is so bullish. It just is long-term bullish. The signs are glaringly obvious, and there's no way. No, I know I'm not the only one that thinks that, especially hanging out on Twitter. And if you're here right now and you think it, you see the signals, hit the like button. I want to see if we get to 1,000 likes in this video. And if you don't see it, in this video, I want to go over three things out of many things that show that the Bitcoin bull market is getting very close to starting. What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming by Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe on the way in. Let's jump into the video. This is Bitcoin zoomed out on the monthly chart. I just like to give a macro view. This entire video is macro. Talking about Bitcoin, talking about cycles, talking about entering the next bull market cycle. So forget short-term pullbacks, forget $1,000 to the downside moves, forget a pullback to $9,000. That's not what I'm talking about in this video. This is longer term, and we are finally approaching post-2020 halving, a time where Bitcoin potentially will do what it has done very, very strongly two other times, namely after the last two halvings, 2012, 2016. So here are three things I really want to talk about, and I want to start here. March, a tweet. Bitcoin down 50%. This was just this past March. Stocks of some stable companies down 50%. There's going to be a huge recovery across all markets like we've never seen, maybe weeks away, maybe months away. If you want to be a part of it, plan your buys. March 16th, everyone. The next day I did this video. Take a quick look at this clip. Fear will subside. We will get through this. Things will be okay. And this volatility, this fear index is going to come back down. And when that happens, not only will you see this chart rebound like a rubber band back down, but you're going to see stocks rebound. You're going to see Bitcoin. So there's the fear index chart, the volatility, the fear index chart for traditional markets. You see it on the screen. That was March 17th. I said it would rebound. And literally, that was the top of the fear. That pretty much is when I did the video. Many people didn't think that was going to happen. It was going to come back down. Many did. I was one of those that just thought it was. Things are going to get better, and things are going to continue to get better. I get comments, people asking, well, you know, the pandemic's going to happen again. It's going to get worse. And I don't think it is. And for my own reasons, I think after November, it's especially going to get better and things will subside even more. But you see this bounce. And we've come so far from March in terms of market recovery, traditional markets, and Bitcoin. And the reason why this is so strong of a signal for Bitcoin is we went through, and if you look at the monthly chart, we went through a very, very big consolidation pattern that was potentially not going to happen before. And this was right before the 2020 halving that Bitcoin had. And that was, hindsight actually maybe helpful to what is about to happen for Bitcoin. And a lot of people are getting ready for this recession, this crazy type of depression environment in crypto markets, traditional markets. And I think it is coming, right? I do think, especially in traditional markets, it's coming, but I don't think it's as soon as many think. The markets are being manipulated in such a way, namely because of the amount of fiat being printed and injected into these markets, where it's not going to fail just yet. And if anything, traditional markets are getting ready to explode, to see crazy all-time highs, in my opinion, and Bitcoin will kind of reap the rewards of that happening at the same time. And it just so happens we are at a part of Bitcoin cycle where historically Bitcoin gets ready post-halving to do something crazy. And this is because Bitcoin is deflationary. Bitcoin has a decreasing supply, right? And this kind of leads into the next part, the second thing that I want to talk to you about, which is holding. Bitcoin holders. This was from the end of August from Glassnode. New data from the same firm, Glassnode, also showed that the share of the circulating Bitcoin supply that hasn't moved for at least 2 years has grown significantly, meaning people are holding, and now stands at 44%. The higher figure indicates that holding is no way out of fashion, with Glassnode noting that the metric has increased by 10% points from the beginning of the year. Increased levels of long-term holding is normally seen as a strong sign for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So this is the second sign, Bitcoin bull market, and you can see it illustrated on this chart. Just look at this chart, everybody. This is from Glassnode. Once again, the number of accumulation addresses. These are Bitcoin holders in orange, and just look at it. From the beginning of Bitcoin, continuing to see all-time highs reached. And you can see this was the top of the last bull market. And look at this, holders selling, taking profits. And we might see that again at the top of the next bull market. But you can just see the amount of holders are increasing, and they continue to increase. And that is not something, especially as big money gets ready to enter and is already beginning to enter, that is not something that is going to slow down. Now, to piggyback off this, we go to our third thing, which is potentially the biggest signal of all. This is something I came across today. It was from 14 hours ago on Cointelegraph. Bitcoin speculators hit all-time lows as Grayscale says Bitcoin is like 2016. Data says holders are gaining and speculators are vanishing from Bitcoin, with one commentator arguing that the bull run is just beginning. Bitcoin holders are beating out speculators in a sign that the cryptocurrency's bull run is just beginning, data suggests. So this is based off of a holder versus speculator index, which is showing highly bullish divergence. The data compiled from on-chain analytics resource Coinmetrics labels coins which have not moved in 1 to 3 years as holder coins. Speculator coins are those which have moved at some point in the last 90 days. And look at this. So let me zoom in on this chart for you to see. This is the chart, and you can see basically in green you have speculators, people that are just kind of wishy-washy in terms of Bitcoin. And you can see in green just dwindling from 2018 bull market high, right, to, or I should say 2017 into 2018. You can see it dwindling, speculators dwindling. And once again, in the dark, you can see the price of Bitcoin, and in the gray, you can see complete opposite of speculators, the holders on the rise. And we just saw what that chart looks like over here on Glassnode. So speculators diminishing, holders increasing. What does that mean? That means that when it comes to demand for Bitcoin, there's really not going to be much supply because nobody's selling. Nobody's selling the Bitcoin. Everybody's holding Bitcoin. This is the number of accumulation addresses. People holding Bitcoin for at least, I think, 2 years is what's illustrated on this chart. So those are three things. I didn't even get into, if you notice, the technicals of what is going on in terms of the charts, technical analysis. If you just look at the Bitcoin monthly chart, we are here, everybody. We've finally arrived after the last bull market high. We've arrived to the 2020 version of 2016 post-halving, and many people are ready for the next parabolic move for Bitcoin. I will say this, is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. It's not guaranteed, everybody. We all know that. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in this world. Anything can happen with cryptocurrencies. Anything can happen with some type of regulation, with price. There's always risk. But at the end of the day, when I'm zooming out and I'm looking at these charts, when I'm watching how these governments are just printing fiat like it's nobody's business to save the economy, and I'm looking at the accumulation of Bitcoin and people just holding it, right? The supply and demand, the scarcity factor that's going to come into play is going to be explosive. And that's just what I think. This is my opinion. I'm not telling you this as fact. This isn't financial advice. This is just what I see on the charts. It's why I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin. Obviously, we do these zoomed in videos, the 6-hour chart, the daily charts. We track Bitcoin. We try and find nice areas to buy on the short term when we get those 20% dips, 30% dips, whatever. But when you zoom out on the chart, and this is the monthly, Bitcoin just looks ready to go. And again, if you agree with that, hit the like button. I want to see if we get to 1,000 likes in this video, and let me know your thoughts. If you're bearish, I like hearing from you bears. It's always interesting. I appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.